Heyo, Victor here. So recently we've seen some crazy shit coming out of the Chinese and SCA Dota scene. Pudge, the most iconic Dota 2 hero, is being played as a position 1 carry right now. And in this video we'll be breaking down what's the build, what's the idea behind it, the power spikes, and whether I think you should try it in your pubs. Feel free to use the timestamps in the description to jump ahead to specific parts of the video and pause when necessary. If you like this type of content, don't forget to leave a like or maybe even subscribe. So, let's get right into it. On a high level, it goes like this. These are the two skill builds being used by PSG LGD Ame and OB Neon CTM respectively. This is the general item build. Here are your power spikes. Here are good hero pairings. Here are some solid counters and heroes you might want to ban if you want to try this. And this is whether I think you should try it in pubs. No. So why does it work? Blink BKB Ags is an insane timing where you can basically just play like an LC where you just ult any one-off target and kill them, where it's way shorter cooldown and you're way tankier. That's why it goes so well with other single target heroes. You can either initiate or destroy some other hero, or ensure whoever you jump dies instantly, like we just saw here. So the insane strength you end up getting with Flesh Sheep, with his built-in 3.0 strength gain, combined with Spell Lifesteal at 15, and the huge AoE cloud you get with Aghanims, when you're in the middle of the team, you're like very deceptively tanky. You're kind of like a Bristleback, where you're spewing a ton of AoE damage and healing off of all of it. Here we can see, after he pops his BKB and just runs into things, he's just so tanky. Like, no one's even dares touch this guy, and he's just like dealing giga damage and just healing the entire time. At the end of this engagement, we can look at the actual damage done, and it's just fucking insane. So if you look at the fight recap, yeah. He does more than his entire team combined and the enemy team together. And maybe this doesn't rewind back far enough, but like, it's ludicrous amounts of damage. Lastly, the Ags on Pudge has a healing reduction component. So basically you have a better Shivas going for 0 mana, and you can counter some very common first pick healing heroes, notably Winter Wyvern, where they're stuck sitting in a single place, or a hero like Phoenix, where it's very easy to hook when they use their Sunray. So let's take a look at how this plays. So you play lane normally until level 5 or level 6. You have a lot of starting base damage, as well as you go a lot of stats with QB. So you have a lot of stats to hit with, like you're doing 91 damage to creeps. So you basically just last it denied to your heart's desire until you hit level 5 or level 6. Once you get level 5, you're able to use your Rot to clear relatively effectively jungle creeps. Now we see Ame here prefers the 3-2 build, but we'll see CTM go for a 1-3-1 or a 2-3 build. So you have higher points of Rot, so you're able to jungle more effectively. Because you're a relatively tanky hero, we'll see that even after his top tier 1 tower has gone down, he still continues to play in the dead lane, which is pretty unusual for carry heroes. And you'll play your jungle for a fair amount of this early game until they get their first item. So a thing of note is that you really can't farm Ancients until you have Aghanims, and preferably the level 15 Spell Lifesteal talent. This is the first time that the Pudge goes and takes Ancients, and this is at 25 minutes, again, once he's hit level 15 and has Aghanim Scepter. You can, in theory, also take Ancients a little bit earlier if you decide to go for Eternal Shroud, because that'll also provide you some Spell Lifesteal. But I personally think the item is a little bit of a bait, as you're going to farm a lot of gold, and that's going to be one of the first items that you end up replacing. So once you get Blink, BKB, and Aghanim Scepter, this is your timing to go. Ame in this game waits until he gets Plate Mail as well. This is a pretty common item because you have pretty shit agi gain and very low armor, so this can supplement that a fair amount. And then you have two main plays as carry Pudge. One, we either try to hook someone that's out of position and kill them quickly. If you can't hook, you can also just blink directly onto them and dismember. Again, this is like the LC idea where you just duel and kill someone right away. Fortunately, he misses a hook, but that happens. And thing to note is when it's a low priority hero, like a support, he does not pop BKB. The other play then, is a little bit further forward, is when you just BKB and blink directly into the middle of their team. That way you're doing a ton of damage, and while he goes a little bit early because his team was dying, he just waits for Dismember to come off. And like, these heroes can't touch him. Obviously this will depend on the enemy team comp and whether they have BKB piercing stuns or not. But you see here, he's basically 1v5ing. Although, in this case, he does TP out because he realizes he can't actually do it. But the idea is there. So a lot of these fights look very similar. You want to start by going in, using your Dismember and killing someone without popping BKB, and then back up, reset, and then you want to jump in when you see an opportunity to Dismember again with BKB, preferably in the middle of the enemy team. So here's another example of how an ideal teamfight goes. You want to start by getting a pick off, killing them very quickly. Again, we see here the Yag's healing reduction being very useful versus Winter Wyvern. Resetting, so again, this is what, 20-second cooldown? It's like no time whatsoever. He gets the perfect hook timing, and again, it's like another LC duel or a Doom or something. And you just get 2 free kicks. And just like that, they can't play the game. This is why we see this hero paired with Doom, because if we go back to an earlier team fight, same exact idea. So the idea is just decrease the number of heroes they have. Like, Dodo's a simple game. If you bring more heroes than the enemy, you're gonna win the fight. So if you're able to Doom 2 heroes, like this, and finish them off, or isolate and kill these heroes while they can't do anything else, they can't do anything. You're just gonna have a flat-out numbers advantage, and then you're gonna win the team fight. So personally, I don't think this is an ideal pub pick. The hero already has a crazy high pick rate at every bracket, so it can be difficult to get the hero in the first place, and especially not in the first phase, because that's not necessarily where you want to be drafting a core Pudge. That plus has some really weird power spikes. Like, you don't want to play in the traditional parts of the map, you want to play in the dead lane more often, and you can't do Ancients till pretty late into the game, compared to some other like Luna, Sven's, whatever, that can just like power flash farm that super early into the game. So I feel like it'd be pretty hard for people to play around, but that being said, that's just me, my thoughts, my theory crafts. Feel free to go try it in your pubs, and let me know how it goes. And that's all, folks. Hope you liked the video. You can find me streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/VictorGaming, VKTR Gaming. And you want to make sure you don't want to miss any future videos, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Thanks, folks. Have a good one.